Don't play the role of the dumpee. That is the best advice I can give you to get your ex back in 2021. If you missed part 1, a card link will be appearing about now on the screen. Go and check it out. During part 1, I said do not play the role of the dumpee, and many of you have reached out to ask for clarification on that. So stick around, come take a walk with me, and I'm going to explain the 5 biggest mistakes the dumpee can make during a breakup. As always, guys, I would be super appreciative if you hit like and give me a subscribe. It really helps the channel out. If you want help with your personal breakup situation, my details are in the description below. The one-to-one voice coaching has been really busy lately, so there may be a slight waiting period, but I will get to you as soon as I possibly can. So the 5 biggest mistakes that I see from dumpees, and this comes up in almost every call, at least 3 of these come up in almost every call. So the first thing you have to not do, you've got to get this out of your mindset, is do not beg, plead, or reach out for bullshit reasons to your ex. Now, I've gone over this a million times in most of my videos. No contact, no contact, no contact. I cannot stress this enough. Your ex has assigned you the role as the dumpee. They expect you to beg, plead, and reach out. But we're not doing that. We are flipping the script. We are operating from a position of strength, not from a position of weakness or from a position of an open wound. We're not doing that. So guys, do not reach out for any reason unless you've got bills to settle, unless you've shared kids together or a mortgage and it's just business. That's the only time that you are permitted to reach out. You don't want to be doing this because it's not confident. Rather, it doesn't show confidence. It's not sexy. And to attract your ex, you need to be the sexy, confident person that you were when they first met you. So the first thing that you need to do is to get back to that ASAP. And as I've said so many times, and in video number 1, just give them the breakup. Just give it to them. Listen, understand, appreciate where they're operating from, and give them the breakup. Now, the second biggest mistake that I see is the dumper, your ex, using you as emotional support. Oh, the cheeky so-and-sos. And this typically works because the dumpee will see this as a way back in. But in reality, your ex is actually using you to wean themselves off of you. They're actually using you to move on because they can call you up, they can text you, you can have an hour's conversation, maybe a 3-hour conversation. They get what they need and they're gone. That's it. You've soothed their anxiety for them. All the while, they've increased your anxiety. So if you can understand the dynamic and the psychology of what's actually happening here, you as the dumpee, you feel it straight away. You feel the breakup immediately. The dumper, they have a delayed reaction. So sometimes this is why they reach out, because they start off with relief, you start off with anxiety, and then gradually you swap ends. And sometimes this is why they reach out. It's not to get back with you, it's to alleviate their anxiety. So be very careful. The dumpers can be very insidious. I'm not saying they're doing it consciously, but you as the dumpee have to be aware of this. Number 3, Nick, my ex is in a rebound. What should I do? You do absolutely nothing. In fact, you shouldn't even have this information. And typically you get this information because you're still on their social media, or you're still texting them, or you've got a friend of a friend of a friend keeping an eye on them. Don't do it. If they are in a rebound, in a weird way, this is actually advantageous to you, because this is actually saying that the dumper, they can't deal with the breakup right now. They can't deal with you not being in their life. So they're actually filling that gap where you used to be with someone that may not be good for them. Now, typically speaking, they either go for someone that is very similar to you or the complete opposite to you. But as I said, do not do anything and do not have any information about your ex, guys. Okay, it's just gonna make you full of anxiety and you're gonna hurt even more. It's just not worth it. Moving on to number 4, don't talk your ex out of how they feel. Your ex feels how they feel. They dumped you because they feel how they feel, and that's okay. They're not a bad person for not feeling it right now. They're not a bad person for wanting to be away from you right now. But what I see all the time, we try to out-logic emotion. We try to dispel emotion with logic. And guys, let me tell you something. This has a 100% failure rate. It will never work. Because if you try to logic someone out of how they feel, it will just push them away even further, because they feel like they are not being heard. They feel like that they don't have a voice, and you're not the person for them because you're not listening. You're not taking on board on how they feel. So when you're having the breakup conversation, or you're having conversations after this, and they say, hey, look, I'm not feeling it. I just need to be by myself right now. As I've said in many other videos before, you say, okay, I hear you. I don't agree because I think we're great together. But if you change your mind, you give me a call. Take care of yourself, and I'll see you later. You walk away, you don't look back, and you close the chapter. The relationship's died now. You need to bury it. You can never reanimate. You can never resurrect this relationship, even with a reconciliation. And this is a story for another time. But even on reconciliations, people try to resurrect the old relationship. The old relationship failed because it had fundamental problems. If you do reconcile, you have to start a new relationship as if that was a new person. So number 5 on how not to play the dumpee, you need to take accountability and responsibility for the stuff that you got wrong. And let me tell you something, guys, accountability for most people is like kryptonite. We don't want to look at what we're doing wrong. We don't want to look at where we need to improve. And typically speaking, when I'm speaking to people in my one-to-one coachings, they are focused on how they were broken up with and not why it actually happened. And in fact, they're normally unaware to why it happened until we start digging a little bit deeper, and then the truth really comes out. And this is when I can help people to start getting better and moving on. But once again, the dumper is expecting you to do this. The dumper is expecting you not to listen to how they feel, not to take accountability. Or going off on a tangent a little bit, you take extreme accountability and you take extreme responsibility, and you don't hold your ex to account for the stuff that they got wrong. Because if you did have a healthy, stable, fulfilling relationship, i.e. there was no cheating, infidelity involved, there was no emotional, physical or mental abuse, and you had good times, I'm almost 99.9% certain that your ex, the dumper, also contributed to this breakup. It took 2 of you to get together, and in this context, it would take 2 of you to split up. So flip the script. Your role as the dumpee is to first get you back, not to get your ex back, not to beg and plead and all the other things that I've just commented on. Work on you. Respect the wishes of your ex, i.e. they are saying, I do not want to be with you romantically right now. And my friends, that is all the closure that you need. There is no other answer here. They've asked you to leave. Give it to them. Please, guys, I know this is hard, and I know I can be savagely honest at times and direct, but it's out of love. It's out of, I wish I had someone to guide me when I was going through my previous breakups, and just to tell me the truth, rather than saying, oh, well, if you wait 30 days and no contact, they're in the best possible position to get them back. Bullshit. Absolute bullshit. By playing the role that the dumper has assigned to you, you're actually taking the path of least resistance, which keeps you exactly where you are. You don't grow, you don't level up. By flipping the script and starting the journey to rediscover you, to rediscover who you are, Guys, this is by far the harder and rockier path. However, to quote one of my favourite Star Trek characters, the riskier the road, the higher the profit. So guys, I'm asking you to take the harder path. I'm asking you to do the work. I'm asking you to flip the script. And I'm asking you to not play the role assigned to you by your ex, the dumper. Go and audition for a better role. The role of your life is every day working on you and taking responsibility for the shit you got wrong and for the shit that you need to work on. The best role for you right now, actually at any time in your life, is self-love and respect. Remember guys, the best way to get someone else's attention is to remove yours completely. I know that may be difficult to hear, but it's the truth, and it's the first step to getting you well, to getting you to move on, and it's the first step to change the definition of the dumpee, because the dumpees go through the anxiety straight away, which is actually a massive advantage because you have to deal with it there and then. So use that to your advantage. And that's all I've got for today. Thank you very much for listening. As always, I'll see you on the other side.